Today we're talking about 7.2, circle graphs. Essentially, circle graphs are just used to compare parts of a whole. So when you look at a bunch of percentages, again, the whole thing should add up to 100%, and we're just looking at different pieces of that, and it kind of shows you it almost as the picture of a pie as to how much of that is being consumed by each piece. So the formal definition of a circle graph is just a graph that's used to compare data that are parts of a whole. So we're going to go ahead and look at our first example here, where there's this table. So we want to make sure we're going to go ahead and copy down the table, and it just compares modes of transportation of the way the kids get to school. They use the example of the Adams Middle School, and they were all surveyed of this, and these are the percentages of kids. So 54% use the school bus, 27% walk, 9.5% bike, and 9.5% carpool. So their question for us is they want us to sketch a circle graph to display the data. And again, you don't have to create it real huge all over your paper, but you want to make it big enough that you can actually see and put information in it. So we're going to go ahead and create. So you want to sketch a circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Sketch a circle. Now, 54%. What you want to kind of ask yourself is, kind of breaking this down, you want to know that 50% is half of the circle and 25% is a quarter of the circle. That's going to help you gauge how much of the circle you should be using per percentages. So for the first one, 54%. So that means we're going to come down. So we always kind of work from the center here. So we want just a little more than half of the circle. So I could have come straight down the whole way to create the whole circle, but I want a little more than half of the circle. So this is using the bus, and it's 54%. Now for walking, that's 27%. So if I were to come over straight, this is 25%, so I'm going to go down just a little more than that. So this is walking, and it's 27%. And now notice, these are both the same. It doesn't matter if we're exactly at 9.5, but I want to make sure to divide this piece right down the middle so that these are both the same. So then we have our bike for 9.5%, and we have the carpool for another 9.5%. So it's just a matter of recognizing how we use percentages and how those represent things. And that's all that's to it. We're just creating circle graphs to represent that information. So let's go ahead and create one more circle graph. So this is people who wanted sunshine on vacation. And these are their responses. And this is the percent again. So some people said it was very important to have sunshine on your vacation. Some people just said it was important. Some people said not very important, and some people said not at all. So we have 45% say very, 30 say it's important, 15 say not at all, or not very, and 10 say not at all. So again, we want to kind of analyze how close is this to either being half or a quarter. So if I create my circle, again we start from the middle here. So 45 is just less than half. So I'm going to create one straight line going up. And then I want to go just a little bit less than half. So this is the very important call, or very important. And it's 45%. Now important is 30, and that's going to be more than a quarter. So you want to come down a little bit more than a quarter. So this is just important with 30%. And now notice we have that extra 15 and 10, so you want to make sure the not very is more than the very. So we're going to have one section that's a little bigger than the other. So this is not very, which is 15, and then we have not at all for 10. And again, they're not going to be exact. You just want to make sure that there's a difference between the 45, the 30, the 15, and the 10. Because again, this is just a sketch.